Russian Foreign Minister. EU has no place in Ukraine peace talks.
Gaza crisis. Global pressure forces Israel to face two-state solution.
Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Committee meets with Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises of Korea.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news by Nghe An Press and Broadcasting Agency. I'm Hoàng Yên, and here we go, the first headline of the show. On September 17th, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov just declared that the European Union or EU should not take part in negotiations concerning the conflict in Ukraine, arguing that the bloc had shown a hostile attitude towards Russia from the very beginning.
Moscow has long opposed the deployment of any Western forces in Ukraine, viewing it as a direct security threat. Russia has repeatedly warned that any foreign troops present without its consent would be considered a legitimate military target. The Kremlin also maintains that NATO's eastward expansion toward Russia's borders was one of the main causes of the conflict. Foreign Minister Lavrov further accused the EU of upholding a confrontational stance against Moscow by discussing the possibility of sending troops to Ukraine in the event of a ceasefire. He also claimed that both the EU and the Ukrainian government are seeking to influence US President Donald Trump to derail current reconciliation efforts and instead revert to a state of confrontation with Russia.
The worsening humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip is placing Israel under mounting diplomatic pressure and the threat of international sanctions. Both the European Union and the United Nations have reiterated that the two-state solution remains the only viable path to ending the cycle of violence.
On September 17th, the European Commission unveiled its toughest proposal to date, freezing €20 million in bilateral aid, suspending trade privileges worth billions of euros, and sanctioning several far-right ministers in Israel's government. Pressure is also mounting from the United Nations and global public opinion. UN General Assembly President Annalena Baerbock urged the urgent adoption of a two-state solution, calling it the only path for Israelis and Palestinians to live in peace, security, and dignity. Inside Israel, the anti-war movement is gaining momentum. Critics argue the conflict has reached a stalemate, and only political dialogue can offer a way out. Despite the mounting external and internal pressure, Israel has pressed ahead with its military campaign in Gaza City while opening a temporary evacuation corridor along Salah al-Din Street for 48 hours.
As part of the local promotion program in South Korea, this morning, a delegation from Nghệ An province, led by Mr. Phung Thanh-Vinh, Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, just held a cooking session with the Federation of Small and Medium Enterprises of Korea, or KBIZ.
The Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee affirmed that Nghe An is ready to cooperate with KBIZ in three key areas: investment promotion, trade and tourism, and education training. He also expressed the province's hope that KBIZ will actively study and implement initiatives to connect Korean businesses with Nghe An. For his part, Mr. Chu Moon-gap, head of KBIZ's Economic Policy Committee, highly valued Nghe An's potential and advantages. He emphasized that KBIZ will serve as a vital bridge to encourage more Korean enterprises to explore investment and business opportunities in Vietnam in general, and Nghe An in particular. Earlier, on the afternoon of September 17, 2025, the Nghe An delegation also took part in the Vietnam-Korea Local Cooperation Forum on Investment Promotion and Business Networking, hosted by the Vietnam-Korea Business and Investment Association.
Upcoming are some updated news.
At the conference, delegates were briefed on the key contents of the resolution by representatives of the party committee. The report highlighted achievements, shortcomings, causes, and lessons learned from the previous term, while outlining the theme, guiding principles, major targets, core tasks, breakthroughs, and key solutions for the 2025 to 2030 term. Dr. Dao Van Than, Deputy Director of the Digital Transformation, Cryptography Department, Office of the Party Central Committee, also presented the implementation plan for Directive No. 50, July 23, 2025, of the Party Secretariat on renewing and improving grassroots party cell activities, along with a special report on digital transformation within party organizations. Digital transformation and administrative reform are regarded as vital measures to modernize party leadership methods and improve operations and activities of party committees and cells. These have been identified as one of the 2 breakthrough areas for the 2025 to 2030 tenure, as adopted by the First Congress of the Provincial Party Committees of Party Agencies.
According to the Global Innovation Index report recently released by the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, in Geneva, Switzerland, Vietnam ranks first worldwide in 3 areas. Specifically, the country leads the world in high-tech imports, accounting for 29.4%, alongside Hong Kong, China, ahead of Malaysia in 3rd place and the Philippines in 4th. This indicator highlights Vietnam's strong dependence on high-tech imports while also reflecting its deep integration into global supply chains.
The National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting reported that at noon on September 18th, a tropical depression in the East Sea strengthened into a storm, the 8th of the year, internationally named Mitag. At 1 p.m., the storm's center was located at approximately 19.9 degrees north latitude and 118.4 degrees east longitude. In the northeastern waters of the East Sea, maximum sustained winds near the center reached level 8, 62 to 74 km per hour, with gusts up to level 10. Over the next 24 hours, storm number 8 is forecast to move northwest and may intensify to level 9. By the evening of September 19th, it is expected to make landfall in Guangdong Province, China, before weakening and dissipating, with little chance of directly impacting Vietnam.
With nearly 1 million hectares of forests, Nghệ An has great potential for developing advanced wood processing. To raise the value of planted forests, boosting the investment in deep processing is essential. More in the story today.
Recently, Nghệ An has attracted several veneer and sawn timber processing enterprises thanks to high demand for raw materials and competitive purchase prices. As investment in large timber plantations remains limited, many businesses are strengthening partnerships with forest growers to secure stable supply chains.
Enterprises must accompany and support forest growers, creating livelihoods so that people feel secure in maintaining forests long-term.
Each year, Nghệ An harvests from 1.7 to 2 million cubic meters of plantation timber. However, over 80% is still sold as low-value wood chips, to increase the value of plantation forests and raise incomes for growers. The agriculture sector is implementing sustainable solutions.
It is urgent to advise the Provincial People's Committee on issuing investment incentive policies.
With vast plantation areas providing livelihoods for hundreds of thousands of households, stronger investment in deep wood processing will help enhance forest value and secure stable incomes for local communities.
The last story, it is ended our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now.